The month of May is typically a transition period. It's when those bass are done spawning and they're moving out to feed up. But there's something special going on in May, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to show you the 5 baits that I'm going to use to catch fish the entire month. All right, so shortly after the bass are done spawning, when the water temperature gets up into the low 70s, the shad start to spawn. It's like the Lord knows what the bass need. They need as much food as they can to get fed up after the spawn, and so that's when the bait fish get up shallow, start to work along these hard rock walls and bluff walls, boat docks, boats, anything that's hard, that's hanging in the water. They're going to come in early in the morning. They're going to flutter in there and they're going to start spawning right there, and the bass are going to stack up all night long and all morning and just gorge themselves. I've got a really good video about exactly how to fish a shad spawn right here. All you can just click on it. But what I want to talk to you right now about is the 5 baits that you're going to tie on to be able to catch them during the shad spawn. Number 1, actually, let's make this one number 2. Let's grab number 1 being one of my absolute favorites. This bait right here won me about somewhere around $14,000 last year in kayak tournaments. And man, it's hard to get out of the package. But what it is it is a white bladed spinnerbait right here, just like this. This happens to be one that's made by Biz Baits. They sent this to me just recently, and so it's called the Whiteout series. They have a whole bunch of white baits that are made specifically for this time of the year and for shad spawn. But this one right here just happens to have white blades, and that's what I like to throw for shad spawn. You can throw it straight up against the bank as far as you can, as close as you can to the bank, and they don't typically get hung up very much. I won't use a trailer. I'll use a trailer hook, but I won't use a trailer on this thing. But the trick is to throw it all the way up against the bank, 2 turns, and then kill it and let it flutter down, and then turn a couple, 4 or 5 more turns, and then kill it, and then reel it back to the boat, and do that again all along the bank. Throw it all the way to the bank, 2 turns, and kill it. Boom. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to bite right then and there. And then 3 or 4 more turns, kill it again, let it flutter down, and then reel it back in. But it absolutely wrecks them. The rod I'm going to throw it on, matter of fact, it's going to be this one right here. This is the Cast King Speed Demon swim bait rod. It's a 7'6" swim bait rod. It is what I throw all my spinner baits and my chatter baits on. I've got it on, the reel I'm using right now is the Royal Legend, the brand new Royal Legend. I think it's like 80 bucks. That's not a very expensive reel. 6 or 7 3-to-1 gear ratio reel, 15-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon, and it's just a blast. It's a blast to fish. Love to fish a spinner bait. All right, number 2, you've already seen it. It's a white chatterbait, shad colored. This thing, it just catches them. I don't know what else to say. It's in almost all of my monthly bait videos, but the chatterbait, this happens to be the Evo Tungsten. It's already put some work in today. I snagged about a 5-pound catfish on the back, and it took me about 15 minutes to get it in. But it's great. I pair it with a paddle tail trailer. This is a Z-Man Minnows, and I can't remember the name of the color, but that's the specific color I use for my white chatterbait. It's a little bit off-white. Got a little bit of gold and silver flake in it, tiny gold and silver flake, but that's what I use all the time. And with this one, I'm typically going to parallel the bank. I'm going to get as close to the bank as I can, kind of like how I'm sitting right now, and I'm going to parallel the banking and just slowly reel it back to the boat. That's all it is. 15-pound test fluorocarbon on the same rod and reel that I'm going to use for a spinnerbait, and it's just an absolute, it's just fun to fish, and it catches giants, and it is my favorite, easily one of my favorite baits. So this next one, I almost want to say that it's one that people don't think about very much, but it's a very popular bait, and it's getting more and more popular the more and more tournaments you see one with it. But and it really does mimic the shad very well. But I do mine in a different size. Most people will throw a full size swim jig, but I like to throw a small finesse one. I actually should trim that trailer or that skirt just a little bit anyway. I pair it with a paddle tail trailer. What this is a Biz Baits Minners is what it is. Just a nice white paddle tail trailer, and the swim jig itself is. Well, I gotta wait for this C-130 to fly over my head. See it? Oh goodness. Had one almost fly or treetop level this morning. It was pretty fun. But anyway, this is from Missile Baits. This is their finesse swim jig, and I love this thing. It comes through cover very, very well, and it's just the perfect size for this time of the year and for the shad spawn. I put it on a medium heavy rod. Let me see if I can find one. This one right here. Right now I've got a Texas rig tied onto this one, but this is a medium heavy fast rod. It's a Cast King Spirale. It's got spiral guides. I've got a Speed Demon reel on there, a nice high-speed Speed Demon reel, and 15, 17, or 20-pound test fluorocarbon, depending on the cover and the structure and what I'm fishing it in. But that's typically what I'm going to throw it on. So the next one is kind of my namesake. It's some type of a fluke or a soft jerk bait. All right, so this is a new one that I've been trying out, and I absolutely love it. It's nice and soft, but very, very durable, and you can jerk this sucker around just about anywhere. And people have been using it for forward-facing sonar, but I use it as just a regular fluke. And this is a Fishco radar shad, 5-inch is all it is. Some type of shad color, something like that, will work just fine. I put it on a weightless on a 4/0 hook. Matter of fact, I'll put the video on how to fish it right here, but I put it on a 4/0 offset round bend hook, or a 5/0 EWG, something like that. But I take this sucker and run it weightless, swivel about 18 inches up above it, and I just cover the bank with it. Parallel the bank, jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause. Sometimes I'll weight it, especially this time of the year. I'll put a little bit of weight in there. Go watch that video to show you how to do it. But some type of a fluke, it's amazing. Just remember, you know, another little tip for this time for the shad spawn is fish the shade once the sun comes up. Just stay in the shade until you can't anymore, and then that bite typically is over. But some type of a fluke, perfect. Now the next one, the very last one, has nothing to do with the shad spawn, but it catches them, especially after the shad are done spawning early in the morning. The fish typically will filter out onto these hard points and these drops and things that are real close to that area that they've been feeding, but they're just kind of filter out. And that is when I grab a football jig, some type of a. Now I'm gonna leave a link to all these down in the description, but this is these are all Picasso football jigs, the different colors that I throw. I got this one right here. This is a really good Gunnersville color. It's been good for just about any color lake. If you got really clear water, something like a bluegill or a green pumpkin color, a little bit of chartreuse. But those are the three colors I'm going to throw them. I'm going to pair them with something like a split tail trailer. This is a Rage Menace, and put it on a medium heavy rod, the same rod I'm going to throw the swim jig on, medium heavy, fast rod, 15, 17, 20-pound test fluorocarbon. What I love about the Picasso jig is that it's got a really, really light wire. If you guys can see that, I hope it can focus. But a real light wire, so you don't have to jack them to set the hook. You just start reeling and just pull back, and it basically sets it for you. But definitely, you're going to catch a ton of fish after they're done spawning early in the morning. You're going to catch a ton of fish out there out there just hanging out on those long points and those drops. That's it for the month of May. Those are the 5 baits that I'm definitely going to be throwing. On top of that, I'm going to throw a bunch of other stuff, of course, because a lot of things work this time of the year. Don't forget to throw a popper, some type of a topwater, buzz bait, things like that, of course. But those are going to be probably in the next video or next month's video. So, but like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water, go out and catch some fish, and have a great day. We'll see you.